CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can-can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now, it's time to Stand for Truth with the host of Stand for Truth Radio, Susan Knowles.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good to see you. Boy, it's Friday, but we're just getting started. Hey, Julia, good to see you. Glad you got the message about me being on earlier today. Hey, Susan, Lisa, good to see you. Lori, Lee, good to see you. How is everybody doing on this Friday? Tillman, good to see you. Tammy, Cully, good morning. Good morning. Hey, Marianne. Monica, Robin, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Big Ralph, good to see you. Rebecca, hey, good morning on Facebook Live. Hi, Marie, good to see you. Everybody, if you please, if you will, just retweet this and share this so we can get more people in, and then we'll get started. I'm excited, too. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to not be happy about, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Gary, good to see you. Hi, Jan, good to see you. Randy, good to see you. Glad everybody's here on this Friday. Hello, hello. Brad, Greg, how are you? Blended, how are you? For the first time on Periscope, everybody say hello. Hi, Kim. Good to see everybody. Okay, so do you want to start with the good news or the bad news? Which part do you want to start with first? Everybody tell me, what do you want to start with? What do you want to hear? Hey, Gina, good to see you. The good news. Okay, bad. Everybody's like, good, bad, bad, bad. All right, bad, bad, bad. Isn't that what the news is all about? Everybody likes to start with the bad news, right? Everybody likes to hear the bad news. We need to hear the good news. Hey, Laura. The ugly. Yeah, we forgot that. The good, the bad, the ugly. All right, so let's talk about the bad news. We saw yesterday that hey, Monica, how are you? Hey, Robin. We saw yesterday that there was that Mueller impaneled a grand jury. Now, what does that mean exactly? And I think that instead of, a lot of times we like to panic when we see stuff like that, and maybe we should. Here's what I want to tell you about the grand jury. I don't know how much you know about a grand jury, what this is all about, but here's what it means to me, okay? It means to me that he has found something, meaning Mueller has found something that he wants to look further into. Now, you might say, well, why impanel a grand jury? Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. Number one, and I'm going to say this, and you may not like this. Some of you may totally agree with me. You have a spineless GOP. That's why. Okay? Spineless GOP. A GOP that in the very beginning, when Mueller was appointed, with the conflicts of interest that this guy is riddled with, the GOP did absolutely nothing. They let this keep marching forward until we got to this position. And how did we get here? Let's see. What we did for weeks now, we've talked about that, President Trump is going to try to fire Mueller. That has been the talk for weeks. So if you're sitting there and you're Mueller, what would you do? I would be thinking, if I were him, how can I keep myself from being fired? Oh, I know. I'll impanel a grand jury. Because now, even if he is fired, it goes on. We just march on forward with this farce that has been going on since the beginning of January and before. And who do we thank for this, okay? I don't know. Let's name names. Number one, Lindsey Graham. What did we talk about yesterday that Lindsey Graham wanted to do? Lindsey wanted to make sure that he could prevent the president from removing Mueller in the first place. And he was talking about legislation that he was going to put forward. And we also had two others. The names escape me now, and they shouldn't, but they do. and they're insignificant. One, I think it was Tillis from North Carolina. He's a Republican, and Coons, I believe, a Democrat from Delaware, decided that they were going to get together, reach across the aisle, as John McCain always likes to say, and they were going to come up with legislation that would, and if Mueller were removed, there would be a 14-day review period. Okay, so you can thank the GOP. Spineless, thank you, Jan. Spineless GOP, sick of fake and cowardly Republicans, allowing Democrats to continue feeding the swamp. Exactly. And I'm telling you what, you need to make it your mission. If you are in those states with Lindsey Graham and other rhinos, you need to be out there in force marching down to the polls and getting everybody to get those people out. You need to vote those people out. And you have a perfect person there in Wisconsin. You have Paul Nehlen that can replace Paul Ryan. And you know what? He is lying. Paul Ryan is a liar, okay? Because as Paul Nehlen said in his Periscope the other day, excuse me, I'm coughing now. The other day, he said that, you remember at the quote-unquote town hall, Paul Ryan passed out questions to his employees to ask him during the town hall. How more fake can you get? How more controlling can you get than that? Paul Nehlen, look him up, Nehlen. He's been on my show. He's a great guy. He's a down-to-earth, honest, and he's a Trump supporter. You need somebody in the White House that is a part of the senators and Congress coming in, you know, interacting with the White House, that are going to be somebody that backs this administration. Not on everything. When they see something that they feel isn't right, of course they need to speak out. But you have people like McCain and Graham who all the time make it their mission to hurt this president. Yeah, lying Ryan, that's right. I mean, this is ridiculous. And so this grand jury, you're going to have a panel of about 12 to 23 people who are going to sit there with subpoena powers to subpoena documents, to subpoena witnesses, to have them come in, and they are going to look at every single thing. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean that they're looking at President Trump? Not necessarily. Does it mean that they're going on a witch hunt like Donald Trump said? Probably, yes. That's what a grand jury does. They look at everything. Now, you might say, why, hey, Jerry, why is it that we need this when we have all those attorneys, those Clinton donors, 8 of them that we know of that gave more than $60,000 to Democrats? Why do we need this when we have all of those attorneys? As I said, you can thank your spineless GOP. That's all I can say. Because they have moved this forward, and it continues to move forward. Can Congress remove Mueller? You know, Brad, everything that I've looked at, the law that I have seen, it says that only the person that appointed him can remove him. But it doesn't say only, but it does say that's the person that has the power to remove him. Can Congress do it? I don't think so. Can they pass legislation to change something? Yeah, they could. But if they were going to do that, you would think that Lindsey Graham and those other 2 people would have gone ahead and done that. Jan says fake Republicans are more dangerous to our country than Democrats, wolves in sheep clothing. Absolutely, Jan. Will they also be investigating Hillary with our Russian uranium scandal? Well, Randy, the Republicans have asked for a special counsel to be appointed to look into that, to look into Lynch, to look into Comey, to look into Hillary. And where is that? How come the Republicans aren't backing the people asking for that? How come we don't have a special counsel appointed right now? Why aren't we looking at that? And I understand that there's some investigation going on in the background. I don't want that. No, you know what I want? I want a special counsel appointed, and I want a grand jury impaneled on that. Because I think there's more information straight out right there than anything that we've seen in this president and the administration on regards to Russia. It's ridiculous. It's insane that we don't have this already. And again, Republicans aren't calling for it. Republicans, along with the Democrats, they've gone on a little a whole month vacation. Because why? They just so deserve it. They deserve it. They've given us everything. What have they done for the time that they've been in, except go after this president. How do I know that? How do I know what? How do I know what's in the news? How do I know factual information? What's your question? I don't know what you're asking. But what I know is that we have spineless Republicans that aren't doing anything except trying to hurt what the president is trying to do. Hey, Laura, that's what they don't want. It brought to service of all the corruption on all sides. You know, thank you, Atomic Blonde. Thank you for your super hearts. What I want to see is I want to see justice. You know, if you're going to go out there that there's more regarding Russia and just asking, not criticize. I don't think there is more about Russia. I think the whole thing is made up. And there's some things that I don't understand that are kind of, disconcerting. Okay, for one thing, yesterday we found out that there were subpoenas coming out in regards to Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with the Russian lawyer. Okay, so that doesn't mean that this is going to be against Donald Trump Jr. It doesn't even mean it's going to be against the lawyer. However, it does kind of smack in the face of, interference with their election. Somebody could make an argument, well, that is connected, and they have to look at that. How do we know that about the subpoenas for Donald Trump Jr.? It was talked about in the news yesterday. Now, here's the thing that I don't understand. Yeah, Monica, those are bills that Trump could not fire people, but it's not. That is basically what that was about, was that he can't make appointments during recess. That was what that was about. Hey, Nick, good morning. So anyway, getting back to Donald Trump Jr., what I don't understand is this. Donald Trump Jr. has his own attorney, and if he doesn't, I think I read that he did, but if he doesn't, he's going to be in trouble. He needs to get his own attorney. What I don't understand is yesterday why the attorney for the White House, Ty Cobb, why he came out and spoke about something concerning Donald Trump Jr. That makes no sense. He's not Donald Trump Jr.'s attorney. Why speak about something that doesn't directly concern the president? So I don't know if the media got that wrong or what happened. I'm not sure. But that, to me, there's something going on there that we're not being told. Yeah, I mean, the Russian hacking, the whole interference. Again, what about the interference of Obama in the elections in Israel with Netanyahu? Is that okay? Was that all right? And now we just, we breeze by that? Hey, Asher, good to see you. Locked and loaded. and Shauna put something up there earlier today in regards to what James Wood said, and said that I've never seen anybody go after such a president, who loves this country. And here's what I want to say. This isn't as much about Donald Trump as this is about you and me. The hatred doesn't come just against Donald Trump. The hatred is against you and me. Do you get that? Hey, Josette, good to see you. Yeah, exactly. Because look at all of this. Look at everything that's being done. And they don't want you to succeed. They don't like it. They can see that you are coming back with power. Okay, see you later. I don't just read just Fox, but you're interfering with my train of thought. Phone calls are concerning it showing he's weak. No, he's not weak. But this is about you and me gaining power that we lost over the past 8 years with Obama. They do fear us, Big Ralph. And, every time, hey, Nancy, and we are ready to give the left what they want on civil war, Nancy said. Donald Trump is saying he did receive a phone call from the Boy Scout leader. I have no idea if that's true or not. I could care less about the Boy Scouts right now, to be honest with you. They are trying, Julia, it goes further than that. It's not disenfranchise us. They're trying to control us. I mean, you talk about a new world order. You talk about globalists. You talk about elitists. This is what we're seeing. This is absolutely what we're seeing. They want to cause chaos. They want this government to collapse. They want to bring out, anybody that can go against this government is exactly what they're for, because it controls you and me. Undoing our vote, undoing our constitutional rights. Yeah, well, the elites don't want to get out of power, Brad. They never do. They can, they sit there in their mansions like, I don't know, Maxine Waters is one I can think of, telling her poor constituents, where that she isn't even, in their district, doesn't even live there, how they should live and what they should do. And she tells them that from her ivory tower. This whole witch hunt is about undermining our election, we the people. Absolutely, Randy. Fired up Friday. I am fired up. I'll tell you, Lisa. I am beyond fired up. I don't know if you saw my article today at SusanKnowles.com. Please go there and read it. It's about Mueller and the GOP, and if you would be so kind as to retweet that everywhere. I want people to know who is at the bottom of this. And I know people are still coming out and saying, well, if it weren't for Sessions, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. Thank you, Kim. I'm sorry, but Sessions isn't the one to blame here. Sessions didn't make Lindsey Graham do what he did, or Tillis, or Coons. Every time Donald Trump Jr. says that Trump says he was elected president of the United States and not the world, the mainstream media and the elites get mad, Nick said. No, I don't really think the left has just started being like this. The left has been like this for a very long time. The problem is that we are very much behind. Yes, Cully, that's why we're on at 10 instead of 11, because Sessions is speaking at 11 o'clock. Donald Trump is something that they don't want. They don't want him because he is leading us to become more powerful. And more powerful, I mean to get back our constitutional rights, the ones that we lost, the ones that we forgot we had. We are standing up and they don't like it. The Lord will dismantle the plans of the enemy. We will see justice, Josette said. Yes, absolutely. So we have a lot that we're dealing with this grand jury. Now, I'll tell you the downside about a grand jury. Typically, in a grand jury, when one is impaneled, about 99% of the time, they find something, okay? Because they're looking further because they think they've found something already. Who it will be against, I don't know. But again, as I said, it should be against right now Clinton, Lynch, Comey, etc., Debbie Wasserman Schultz, on and on and on. Why we're not doing that? Again, thank you, GOP. So here's the one thing. I see people making comments kind of to each other and calling people out. Let's be nice to each other, especially in here. Let's be nice to each other. This is part of the problem where we spend so much time fighting each other that we don't get anything done. The left doesn't do that. They don't fight each other. They don't come into scopes and troll each other. They've got other things to do, and that's called screwing us over, okay? So we don't need the right screwing each other over, all right? So let's stop that. If somebody's bothering you in the scope, block them. We do need to call the left out, and we need to focus on what they're doing and how they're interfering with this president. That's what our focus needs to be. And on our rights and maintaining those rights and continuing to get our rights back. The left started the breakdown of America in the late 60s, and they are at the final push. They are trying to tear down America socially, economically, and morally, Nick said. Nick, they started in the 1900s. Okay, so like I said, name calling not going to be allowed in here. You can go someplace else and name call. We don't have time for that. Yeah, they're trying to, and we don't have to let them do that, Purdue. The left is unified by getting your tax dollars. Yes, they are. They very much are, right? And you heard yesterday me talking about Cecile Richards, who came out and basically said, you know, how she's going to control the Democrats, right? She's talking about, no, you're not going to give money to people who are pro life. We're not going to stand for that. I mean, who is she? I'll tell you who she is. She is a powerful entity because we gave her all that money to deal with. And if we were Civil War, we would stop paying taxes, Nancy said, because you cannot get spence phones. I don't know what that is. That's what I'm doing. And the comments go by. Yeah, just block people. Hey, Gary, good to see you. The left is highly focused on destroying our Constitution, Asher said. Absolutely. They very much are. And we sit here fighting each other, and that's why we don't get anywhere. We need to be out talking to people about getting people out. Thanks, Henry. You're not accepting your role in how things are. Oh, are you just a paid troll, or are you just coming by just to distract? Because, you know, your questions are generalized questions, and you're not saying anything. Blocking is not the answer. Neither is trolling. If POTUS is successful, it will change the status quo, and the political elite in D.C. is unhappy. Yes, because, hey, Doomsday, how are you? Doomsday Clock. Great. They can control the population through abortion. Absolutely. Yes, I know that we have moronic trolls coming in. Blocking is the answer. Yep. Low-life trolls, we need to eject him. Yeah, so that everybody just go ahead and block that person. You know, if you feel that needs to be done, just go ahead and do that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You know, how do I block? You just click on, press on the name, and it'll come up, and you can block them. Persistent. The trolls should start their own scope and see if they attract like-minded. I know. We can block him too. How am I trolling? Okay. There you go. So now he's gone. We can all go back to what we're doing. All right. So anyway, with the grand jury, we'll see where that goes. I doubt at this point on that there will be an ability to get rid of Mueller. And as I said, even if they do, he's got the grand jury just to go on without him. So it's not really that important right now to have Mueller in there. You know, it's unfortunate. And again, it's caused mainly by the GOP not doing what they were supposed to do in the very beginning. Not even at least going in there and saying, hey, we want somebody else because this guy's not neutral. They could have done that. They could also right now be calling on Sessions to get a grand jury, or at least a special counsel appointed right now to look into Clinton, Lynch, and Comey. So they're not doing that. Why? They went on vacation. I know, troll. Did you see that? We do need a kind of a spray. Yeah, Julie, it is a witch hunt. It's been a witch hunt from the very beginning. That's all it is. But let's look at some of the positive news. This is the positive news. Yeah, the grand jury has nothing on Trump, and they're not saying it is about Trump. The GOP is not for our POTUS either. No, the GOP is not for the people either. You know, most of those people in here, the rhinos, they're not working for us. They're working for themselves. They're working for the Democrats. They are just Democrats in Republican clothing. That's all it is. So here we're going to talk about the good news that the left doesn't like. This infuriates them when you talk about this. The Dow opened today 52 points up, okay? A record high again. 209,000 jobs reported in July when they expected 183. So the jobs are up. The Dow is up. Let's get some more information. It's going to probably be announced today. That Toyota and Mazda deal, $1.6 billion, a U.S. plant here in the United States that can potentially employ 4,000 people. Okay, another thing that the left absolutely hates. Here's something else. The GDP is at 2.6%. With Obama, I think it never got over 1. But why couldn't Dems do this, Marianne? They could. They didn't want to. Because if you are prosperous, you don't need the government, right? If you are prosperous, then you don't depend on the government. That's why. That's why they didn't do it. Because they don't want you to be prosperous. They don't want capitalism to work. They want socialism. And some of those people that are in the GOP, they want that as well. Dems keep poor people poor. If you pay taxes, you vote Republican. They don't care about me at all. That's right, Marianne. Wanda said, I find places that are busy and listen to Susan openly. You can't not believe. You have to hide and listen to it in a liberal place, I guess. Asher says she believes it's actually one party now. Pretty much. Pretty much. The only thing the GOP are interested in is enriching themselves. You're right on, Susan. Thank you, Julie. Remember, the Democrats don't like "In God We Trust." Well, yeah, remember that the Democrats get God out of everything. So Trump has also put God back in the White House. Do you think they like that? No, they don't like that. So everything that he is for, and remember, let me say this again, everything that Donald Trump is for, they hate. Why? Because they hate Donald Trump? No, they do hate Donald Trump, but it's bigger than Donald Trump. They hate you because most of everything that he says he believes in, you believe in too. And so when they hate him and they go against him, they're going against you and what America stands for. And I'm not saying that just to protect Donald Trump. I'm not saying that because I don't believe in it. I say it because I absolutely believe what I'm talking about. It has made the forces of darkness angry. That's right. Absolutely, Asher. And so that's why that they're going after Donald Trump. Because if they feel that they can destroy him, they can destroy you and me. And again, we need to continue to pray for Donald Trump. We need to continue to pray for his administration, and we need to pray for this country because they are after us. You know, the Democrats, the liberal left wants to take us down. And I feel bad. I feel bad for anybody who is a Democrat today because I don't think the people that aren't all far left in the Democratic Party, I don't think this is what you ever imagined that your party would be. You know, and thank goodness the West Virginia governor last night decided that he is going to become a Republican and will be going there today and becoming a Republican. The transgender thing was not nice. We're talking about military. We're talking about the security of the United States. I don't care if it wasn't nice. This is not about nice. This is about what is going to help our country, how national security. And what are we supposed to do? Bankrupt the country by paying for sex change operations? If I wanted a sex change operation, are you going to pay for mine? No, and we shouldn't have the military doing that. I mean, NICE went out the window 8 years ago. NICE has certainly gone out the window back in January when you have people trying to take over this government and not allowing them to do their job. I admit I haven't prayed as much about this. I've been just so angry, Asher, and that's what the dark side would have you do. That's what the enemy would have you do. You need to pray. Monica says she just read that the grand jury has leakers. Monica, I'm sure that's probably true. Hey, Karen, how are you? I didn't see you come in. So I thought it was a ban on transgender people fighting for our country. No, it's not a ban on transgender people fighting for our country. It's a ban on trying to have the military not have to pay for sex change operations. There are people right now who are transgender in the military. They haven't touched those people, and there actually isn't a law yet that puts this into place. Gary, it is going because I can see you, and it is going. It may be you, so you might want to go ahead and just go ahead and go out and come back in and refresh, maybe. You're welcome, NCAA. Witches continue to pray against Trump? Yeah, absolutely. And if you've got witches praying against Trump and we're not praying for him, what does that say? We need to pray. Yeah, I know. They do keep coming out with the anti-Trump stories all the time. And again, this is kind of what I touched on a minute ago. It's unanimous. The Senate blocked Trump's ability to make any recess appointments, which again, it's unanimous. So the Democrats and the Republicans voted together. And the good news is that 70 nominees that he had have been approved. So the Senate approved 70 people that he wanted nominated, that he nominated and wanted in. So they did approve those 70 people. So that's good. We got 70 more people than we had. But the bad thing is, again, the Republicans and the Democrats stood together, and they blocked any recess appointments. Congress usurping the executive branch of government. Yep. Ray was already sworn in by Sessions the other day, is from my understanding. Sessions is going to talk about the leaks and what he's doing about the leaks this morning. And that's at 11 o'clock. And as you recall, Obama did make some recess appointments, and some were found not to be constitutional, and they were out of there. But he did make them. Why was there not this much people hate when Reagan was seated? Because they didn't have this much hate going on when Reagan was seated. The times that we're living in. Hey, Marie, it's the times that we're living in. Hey, Mama Lou. That's why it's different now. No, I don't look at Sessions as a castrated eunuch. I really don't. In my opinion, Sessions did what he had to do. Communications are better now. Yes. And yeah, we didn't have the internet and everything else going around as much. I have that same power within me to take down all those witches. Exactly. I hope people are charged in this leak investigation. They better be. And especially when they leaked his phone conversations, the president's phone conversations with people from other countries, that's a felony. And those people need to be taken down. I mean, everybody, charge them all. Just keep charging. So I'm hoping, I don't know how much Sessions is going to say today because there's not too much he can talk about. But I hope he's gotten some, pretty concrete things that he's doing. Let's see. Jerry, you mentioned a minute ago, I forgot to touch on that. Unemployment fell to 4.3%, which is a 16-year low. I want to see one lib charged with something. I do too, Big Ralph. I want to see more than one, but yeah, one's a start. Okay, Laura, see you later. Thanks for coming in. Karen, some of those Obama holdovers, you're asking why that Trump doesn't get rid of them. Some of them he can't. Some of them are there, they're appointed, and it's the law. Those people can't be removed. As for everybody else, they could be, but if you get rid of all those people and you have all those jobs to fill, that's going to be hard to fill those all at once. So they should be eventually gone pretty soon here. And in regards to McMaster should be gone. What came out yesterday about what Sarah Carter said that he was doing with Susan Rice and giving her unfettered powers to continue with her top secret clearance back in April. I mean, if that's not something that is against the administration, I don't know what is. And I don't like McMaster because he's a globalist. I haven't liked him from the very beginning. And I don't like the fact, if it's true and if he's getting rid of them for the reasons that people think, the people that I talked to you about yesterday that he's been getting rid of that are loyalists to Trump, and he's firing them and putting Obama people in there. If there's not a good reason for that, then there's yet one more reason why McMaster should go. And call the president, call the White House, call that number we talked about yesterday. That Lee had talked about on his program about McMaster calling the White House. If you feel that's something that you should do, call them. And what I do is I continuously tweet out to real Donald Trump and talking about my feelings about McMaster. But we have to do it. We can't just have one or two people do it. We've got to have everybody doing it. And now I'm not sure that he would be fired now because, again, what happens if he's fired right now while Congress is out and they've already made it impossible for the president to put somebody else in there and appoint in there because he can't do any recess appointments, right? So we're looking at maybe September at the earliest. I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of what I think. I don't understand why he was ever there in the first place. I think probably because, like we talked about before, Trump really likes the generals. He likes to surround himself with the military. And I get that, but not everybody in the military is worthy of being somebody that should be there in the White House. I don't trust McMaster. I don't trust the globalist the ideas that he's had. And I told you that from the very beginning. I don't like this man, and I think that he needs to go. For that reason alone, I want him out. But again, just because of this whole thing that the Senate did blocking, I don't think it's possible to do right at this moment. Well, you may find, Ozarks, that he is the worst president, but, you know, why don't you give some reasons why? No, I don't think we made a huge mistake putting him in. But I don't know if you're a troll, that you're just coming here and saying that. If you've got some specifics, put them out on the table. Why did Flynn recommend McMaster? I don't know. You need to put a profile picture in there so you won't be an egg. Then give some specifics. Donald Trump has done very good things for America, and we've gone over a few of them already. No, he's not a racist. No, he's not a hothead. Not a racist, not a hothead. So, again, you know, here we go again that, no, he's not a racist. Just because he's speaking truth and you don't like it doesn't make somebody a racist. The Washington Post yesterday, they are the ones that put out this full conversation that President Trump had on the telephone with those people from other countries. Now, right there, Washington Post, in my opinion, I don't know about what the law says, but I think that's pretty much that should be a felony right there for somebody to go and reprint something that is, at the very least, classified information. So Washington Post should be called to task for that. Other people, other media have given bits of information, but they haven't put the whole thing out there. I don't even think you should give bits of information of what was in a phone conversation with the President of the United States and somebody from another country. And I also think, for example, that Comey should never have been allowed to do what he did. Comey put out classified information with a conversation that he had with the president. That shouldn't be allowed, in my opinion, and passed on to somebody else, his friends, so that it could be sent to the media. We've got many issues here of people doing what I feel is wrongdoing. There should, if the law supports what I'm saying, then these people should be brought to task. They should be punished legally for what they've done. Once you're working for the president, you have to be faithful. If not, then do the right thing and leave. Exactly, just that. And you're not even from here. You're from Trinidad, and you know that. And Josette from Trinidad knows what the people in the United States should do in regards to being loyal to the president. And it's not just this president. It's any president. You don't go around talking about your conversations, or you don't eavesdrop on conversations and print transcripts on them for everybody to see. And I'm not even saying they're eavesdropping. They probably got those conversations and just sent them on to the Washington Post. Ridiculous. Hey, Joseph, good morning. We've got to stop a lot of what we see is going on. I'm hoping that Sessions will have a plan. I'm hoping that Sessions will be able to stop this. But when you've got everybody leaking because they can get away with it, we have a huge problem on our hands. And we have a lot of people who are very disloyal. And we need to start taking those people and getting them out. Starting with McMaster. Because I don't know about you, but when you give Susan Rice, when you know about the unmasking, and then you give her a reason to continue to do it, unfeathered, doesn't even have to give a reason. Come on. And then we have the ambassador, Susan Powers. What was that all about? And I know that wasn't McMaster's fault, but I'm saying, what was that all about? If Sessions doesn't go after her, we don't have a government. We don't need a government because the laws aren't being enforced here. This is ridiculous. So, as far as all the things that we're looking at with Mueller, we are in a battle. We are very much in a battle. And again, this isn't about Donald Trump. It's about you. It's about America. It's about these people wanting to take you right back down to where Obama had you and where he intended to go even further with Hillary in there as president. And they're not going to rest until they succeed. And that's all the more reason why you can't rest. Ivanka and Jared are globalists, not MAGA supporters. Well, they are Democrats. Why they're in there, I don't know. So is Powell, so is Cohn. And they're globalists. Why are they in there? I don't know. Maybe this is why they need John Kelly. I mean, if John Kelly is going to do anything, he needs to look at those people and perhaps say, well, you know what? I wasn't in charge of getting them into the White House, but I can get them out of the White House. I know, Asher. It makes everybody furious. Asher's saying she's very furious. They partied with Uma and Chelsea before, but that's what Democrats do. And then, with them partying with each other, I just have to say, when I was practicing as an attorney, I didn't party with the other side because I'm not that type of a, partier person. But I knew people on the other side, and I had to, because of being an attorney, I associated with them at different events. So that in and of itself isn't enough to say that they're against the president or that they're, whatever. Because people do show up in parties and other people are there. But there are other reasons to believe that these people aren't good. And as for Ivanka, I know people were worried about her. So far, in a lot of areas, Donald Trump's not listening to her. I think, she's his daughter. There are things that she can do that he wants her to do, especially with the entrepreneur, with women, and I think that's why she's around. Is he listening to her? I haven't seen that so far. If he was listening to her, then we would have transgenders in the military and continuing with the giving them sex change operations. He wouldn't have gone to the military and said, what do you think? He would have just asked Ivanka, what do you want? And she probably would have said, let's just keep the transgenders in there and keep paying for them. Yeah, Bliss, I'm aware of what Jared Kushner did at his office. What was it, 666 East Street or something like that? I know that he and George Soros, George Soros loaned him money. Do I like that? No. Do I think that's a good thing? No. But also, with the fact that he's married to Ivanka, there's your answer. Trump knows his daughter is a liberal. Right, Robin. And yeah, I know, Cully, the address is 666. I get it. I know the implications. Don't know if it's, whatever. But Ivanka is a Trojan horse. Well, I don't know. The thing about President Trump, and this has been said over and over, and a lot of people do believe this, that he doesn't look at people as Democrat and Republican. Maybe he should. But he looks more at what that person can do. And whereas a lot of us, we look and we say, well, if you're Democrat, I don't want you on my team. He's not like that. He hasn't been like that. That's not how he's done business. And that was one of the objections that some of the Republicans didn't like in the very beginning. That's who he is. So maybe he needs somebody in there like a John Kelly. Hopefully he's a loyalist that will say, no, Mr. President, we really need to look at this person. But if you're talking about party affiliation, the Democrats, they are truly the ones that are the globalists. Those are usually the ones that are globalists. Not to say that Republicans aren't, because we do have those. But the majority that I've seen, they're Democrat. Trump is not a politician. That's why he was elected. Yeah, again, he's everything that the left hates. And you're everything that the left hates as well. So don't kid yourself. As I said, this isn't about Trump. This is about America. It's about you. It's bigger than Trump. And that's what you have to remember. That's not why he was elected, Nancy said. On which part, Nancy? What did you mean? But, I don't know. So far, what I'm seeing that Donald Trump is doing, do I disagree with some of the things that he's doing? Yeah, I don't think as I've said before, he's a human being. He's going to make mistakes. He has made mistakes. Do I like what I see? Yeah. Over the last 6 months, I've seen a lot of things. What do I think about Bernie Sanders? I don't think about Bernie Sanders. Does that answer your question? So over the last 6 months, I've seen things that he's accomplished that no other president could have done, nor have they done. So he's done great things for America. I have seen our people, I've seen the GOP stand in the way of a lot of things that he's wanted to do. And I've seen the Democrats do the same thing, and I see it continuing. And again, we have to get these rhinos out. And I'll call them dinos because that's what they are. They're just as bad as the rhinos. We need to get those people out. But we do a lot of hating on each other and we attack each other over and over. And so the left moves on with their agenda while we're still there hating on each other and trolling each other in periscopes. I'm for term limits too, and thank God we have them in California. Yeah, McCain sold out a long time ago. I'm not even sure McCain was on board anyway. But McCain and Lindsey Graham, Paul Ryan, there are more. Yes, we must have term limits, absolutely. And we can see what kind of mess we're in because we don't. When we have our career politicians who come in, who get comfortable with the lobbyists, they get money in their pockets, and they'll do and say whatever they have to do and say to keep that money flowing. And you see Donald Trump came in and he wanted to stop all of that, and they're not happy about that on our side. They're not getting as much money these days. If you take a job in the admin, it's because you are going by too fast. Like the governor of West Virginia. Yeah, the governor of West Virginia finally got smart and became a Republican. And, you know, the only thing I wish that he were a senator or, you know, in the House, because being a governor and being a Republican will help us, but we need more people who will vote for things that we vote for, that can, you know, when John McCain runs in there to vote against us, that person can even that out. Yeah, people in West Virginia love Donald Trump. And it's mostly, what, Democrats there? Trump was correct about McCain. You know, with John McCain, I don't wish him any ill will. And what I'm thankful for his military service, and I know some veterans absolutely hate him. That, you know, that's not my point. My point as a senator, he's horrible. And I don't want him to be the senator of Arizona. And I know that a lot of people in Arizona, he's got a lot of special interest groups that back him in Arizona, and that's why they brought him back in. Yeah, I don't know how long McCain is going to be with us. I don't know. And like I said, I wish him well. I do not wish him any harm at all. He has done so much for coal mining in West Virginia. Hillary Clinton was Obama was shutting everything down. And Hillary Clinton was going to come in. Her biggest dream probably was to shut it the rest of the way down. Like it was said earlier, they're all one party now except for a handful that I can think of. Robin said, Monica said, he has been horrible at everything he's done in life, talking about McCain. And you know, it's sad. It's really sad that John McCain, number one, what has he done for veterans? You know, he's done nothing for veterans. The veterans group in Arizona that we support, that you've supported with your donations, John McCain, the homeless veterans, John McCain's helped them zero. Okay, zero. Kelly Ward, she's come out and spoken out for them. And right now the VA is taking away, for homeless veterans there, and I told you about that yesterday, CASAZ.org, taking away that $500,000 grant that they used to house homeless veterans. Gone. John McCain, where are you? That's your state. Why aren't you saying something about that? Why? Because he doesn't care. You know, I would have to say, Paul Nehlen, from what I've seen, and again, had him on the show, a businessman. He's not a guy born with a silver spoon in his mouth that I can see. I think he does care, and he cares about Wisconsin, and he wants to do what's best for Wisconsin. He loves his president, and so if you know anybody in Wisconsin, you need to get the word out. Let them go follow him on Periscope and find out for themselves. But from what I've seen, from what I've heard, he's doing a great job. He's totally against TPP. He fought Paul Ryan and got that stopped. So, you know, the guy's got some good qualities there, and you should check him out. Ryan McConnell need to go. I know there's more, but I don't know all of their names. I know, Robin, you could have a whole list of Republicans that need to go. Yeah, pray that all the darkness gets out of it. I know, it's just amazing what's going on. The rally last night, I don't know if you saw the rally. It was a great rally. Donald Trump has great support. There are a lot of people that are backing him. McMaster, yeah, I know. We talked about that fake news CNN. We talked about that a minute ago. Hey, Tori. Yeah, McMaster needs to go. He gave Rice all she needed. It was an unbelievable rally. A lot of people there. Very enthusiastic crowd. The people love Donald Trump. What can I say? They really do. And I tell you, I don't know where this is going, but I can see this turning in a bad place if people try to remove Donald Trump. Solitary senator can do nothing. McCain is certainly not a traitor because you disagree with him. And that's not what I said, but thanks anyway. Corruption even worse than we thought. Absolutely. It is so deep and has been going on for so long that Donald Trump, one-man army there, has got his hands full. And they're going to fight him tooth and nail. And you heard him again last night telling Congress, get back in there, get health care repealed. And that's what he wants. Again, I say to Donald Trump, quit waiting for Congress. You come up with your own health care plan. You know what the American people want. Get your people around that plan that you trust to come up with that plan, to write that plan out, then present it to Congress. And get the American people behind you on that, and then Congress is finally going to have to do what they're there to do. Because the American people, if you get a plan that they like, they're going to support that. And they're going to tell Congress, you like your job, you want to stay there. And I wouldn't be surprised if people went marching on Washington, D.C. So Donald Trump, you take the lead because Congress can't. They're inept. They don't want to take the lead. They don't want a health care program. They want to take us to single-payer system. That's what they want. And that's my thoughts on Bernie Sanders, too. Hey, Sue, good to see you. Monica said there will be a civil war if they oust our president. Gary said, I like the way Trump talks directly to the people. Yes, Gary. It is very good. And that's what people love about him. And that's, some people don't like him on Twitter, but that's what people like. Susan, thank God for Congress and neutralizing this radical president. Oh, come on. Go troll somebody else for a while. Susan, can we discuss the wall and how Mexico is going to pay for it? What's there to discuss? It's been discussed over and over. He's already gotten, $1.6 billion for the down payment on the wall. So I don't know what there is to discuss other than the fact when we said yesterday that San Diego is trying to pass a bill saying that anybody that works on the wall will no longer be allowed to work in California and whatever. Nobody will tell you the truth about the wall. The truth has been out there. The wall is being built and already has a down payment. And Paul Ryan would have you believe that he supports the wall, but don't believe that. Yeah, whatever. Just, my God. Trolls. No time for trolls. It was approved in the bill that they just did. I forget the one with the veterans getting what they're getting. I can't remember the name of the bill. Sorry, but it just happened recently. If you look it up, you'll find it. I think it was like $1.6 billion. I know. And again, if you see somebody, if they're bothering you, just block them, and I'll try to block them as I can. The lame GOP is our worst enemy. That's right, Sue. Oh, our tax dollars. Raise, yeah. Yeah, it will be probably from our tax dollars. Supposedly Mexico is going to be paying for it, but not outright. We'll be paying for it in other ways. It's amazing how California just wants to make up their own rules. I'm so sick of living there. I know, Asher, they do. They try to make up their own rules. They're going to get federal dollars taken away from California because they don't want to comply with the rules. And now, thank you, Buster, for the super hearts. And now Denver's doing the same thing, basically. So, thank you for the hearts, Doctor. Mexico will eventually pay for the building of the wall. I have no doubt about it. Yeah, it'll come out in different ways. So, again, there is other news. I don't know if you want to hear this or not, but supposedly, and again, I don't necessarily believe this. This is coming out by supposedly a Defense Department official. Fox News reported on North Korea may be trying to develop a hydrogen bomb that's more powerful than the one dropped on Japan. So that's not great news, and that's probably more important than a lot of things that we've been talking about, if in fact that's true, and if in fact they have the capability. I think eventually, we're going to have to do something about North Korea. I know people don't like to hear that because they don't want to, the thoughts of going to war or anything. But when you have this and we have somebody acting upon it, it's a little bit, you got to do something. I say just go in there and take the guy out, but that's just me. Sue said, what do we have to do to light a fire under the butts of the people that we serve? Who serve? Well, you need to get them ousted. You need to tell them they're not going to be reelected, and you have to follow through on it. They can't get... Well, see, I don't know. We say back and forth, sometimes North Korea, that the guy can do what he says he can. The experts sometimes say that he can, and then the experts sometimes say that he can't. So I really don't know. And I don't know if we're going to get an adequate, decision on that. I mean, is the Defense Department telling us the truth? Are the people reporting on it being truthful? I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I know for years and years and years, North Korea, depending on which leader, has always said that they're going to do something to hurt the United States. I don't recall people getting a dictator kind of getting this close to succeeding in doing what he said and actually firing missiles off and things like that. Not to this extent. So I don't know what that means. Some experts say he has the capability of sending a missile over across the United States, but then others say, no, he doesn't, and even if that happened, it wouldn't do any damage. I don't know. I don't know what the truth is. Right now, I'm just reporting on what I heard so that you can start doing a little bit more research on that area as well, because this isn't going away. And some people may be asking, sometimes people start a war to take the focus off of something else. Is that what this is? I don't know. So we'll have to, wait and see as things develop. Now let's look at LA, because this is important. This is coming out of your pocketbooks. 1.3 billion in illegal welfare payments was paid from 2015 to 2016. Yes, for you LA child, you Nancy in LA, 1.3 billion in illegal welfare payments. I don't know. Let's see. Would the RAISE Act help that? Nearly 1/4 of the amount spent on the country's entire poor population was spent there in Los Angeles. It's the largest concentration of illegal immigrants in the country. And they even have it where illegal immigrant parents whose children were born in the United States can get welfare and food stamps. So if that isn't a reason to enact the RAISE Act, gosh, I don't know what is. But as you see, it's in LA, totally run by Democrats in LA and in the state of California. Another reason that the Democrats are going to fight the RAISE Act tooth and nail. And you'll probably have John McCain running in there if they try to do a simple majority and voting against us. So there you go. I don't have much faith in what the Democrats are going to do, nor do I have faith in what the Republicans are going to do. Cannot have a welfare state and open borders. Yeah. But you see, again, that the Democrats don't think that way. They want open borders, and they want you to be able to just have anybody come in here that wants to come in here, right? I mean, just ask Jim Acosta. He knows. Those English-speaking people from the UK and Australia, right? Open, yeah, Democrat votes, yes. Welcome. I can't share any links here anymore. Why can't you share the links there, Gary? When will they start cutting the funds to sanctuary cities? Supposedly, they're already targeting places. I know I heard in San Bernardino, they're targeting them and saying, hey, if you want any more federal grant money, you better start getting with the program. So I'm sure that Jeff Sessions is probably going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. In our last couple of minutes, too, I want everybody, if you will, please pray for Barbara. Barbara comes into our scopes all the time. She's the one that broke her left arm, her upper arm. She is having surgery today. They've decided that she needs to have surgery. So please pray for her. Think about her while she's going through surgery. And hopefully she can get back here on Monday. And on Monday, we're going to have it at a regular time at 11 a.m. Eastern. We just had it earlier today so everybody could go and watch Jeff Sessions. Hopefully Jeff won't let us down. It's like ISIS wants to take over through immigration. Really, Sue? You think? Yep, you the worker pays for it. Yep, LA, talk about a swamp. LA needs to be drained completely. and California needs to be drained of its swamp. So you got a lot of forces fighting against the president. And as we're on the subject of praying, don't forget to pray for the president, the vice president, the administration, and pray for this country. We need it. That's what I get when you share it. Okay. So thanks everybody for being here today. If you will, as Lee says, retweet this puppy. And if you please get the word out for everybody. Everybody on Facebook Live, please share. YouTube, please give me some thumbs up if you will, and please share it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming in. We need to drain the swamp. We need to keep standing up. We need to do the right thing, and the right thing is doing what we know is right for our country. Thanks again, everybody. God bless you. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Take care. All right, everybody on YouTube, go enjoy Jeff Sessions. See you again on Monday. God bless you. Take care.